Hey everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. In this week's guitar lesson, we're going to take a look at an original composition, something I came up with this week that's played on acoustic guitar. It's a Delta Blues, and it's a lot of fun to play, and I'm playing it fingerstyle, which means I'm not using a pick with my right hand. Now I know some of you are not fingerstyle players. There's a lot of pick players in the Active Melody audience, and that's okay. But I think you should try this one, even if you've tried fingerstyle before and you've had a hard time with it, because this style of playing, this Delta blues style, and a lot of these old blues guys would do this, your thumb just stays on one string at a time, so that makes it a little less challenging. So for example, in the E part, you'd be doing something like this. You can see I'm just hanging out there on the 6th string. A lot of what throws people when they try and learn fingerstyle is the thumb is jumping from string to string, and then you're playing a melody on top of that, and it's just too confusing. So give this one a try, even if you've tried fingerstyle before. So I hope your takeaway will be that you'll take all these licks that you're going to learn in this video or in this series of videos and start to use them in your own playing, even when you're improvising. Whether you're playing fingerstyle or even with a pick, there's a lot of licks that you can steal from this one. You'll also have this great little composition that sounds good on its own. You don't need any jam track, you don't need a drummer or bass player, any of that stuff. All you need is a guitar, and you can entertain with that. So we're going to break this down over the course of 2 videos. In this video we're going to take a look at the first half. If you'd like to watch the second half, as well as download the tablature and have access to the on-screen tab viewer, which allows you to slow down the playback and loop sections and all that fun stuff, you're going to want to go to ActiveMelody.com and look for EP145. That's a lesson number for this lesson. So let's go ahead and get started with part 1. Alright, so I've switched guitars. I grabbed this guitar because it has the fret markers. The other guitar, the one I played in the intro, that's the Alvarez MPA 70. For those of you that are curious what that guitar is, that little smaller parlor style guitar. I love those parlor guitars. They're just easier to play, and I think they sound better, more of a mid-range tone. So, okay, so this song is in the key of E, and it's a 12-bar blues. It's just a straight-up 12-bar blues format. The chords are E, A, and then a B, or B7. And we're going to cycle through those chords, and it starts with an intro that sounds like this. So that's the first thing we're going to learn. Now, we're playing this finger style, so here's how you're going to think of your fingers. You're going to have your ring finger pretty much always covering the 1st string. Your middle finger lines up over the 2nd string. Your index finger, pointer fingers on the 3rd string. And then your thumb kind of handles, typically handles strings 6, 5, and 4. That's a typical setup. Now that will break at certain points, but that's kind of how you think of when you just line your fingers up. That's how I think of it anyway. Some people are 3-finger style players, and then some are even 2-finger, and that changes the game a little. But I think the proper way to do it, if you're just starting this and you want to learn it the right way, that's how I would recommend doing it. Lining your fingers up that way, and you can just kind of rest them on the strings, and it feels comfortable that way. Every finger knows where it needs to be. So that first thing if you look at what I'm doing with the right hand, I'm using these two fingers, my ring finger and my middle finger on strings 1 and 2. Now my left hand is here in pattern 4 of the E minor pentatonic scale. So pattern 4, what looks like that. And these two notes are these two notes right out of that pattern. That's where we are. That's why they work. And what I'm doing, I've got my pointer finger here on the 7th fret 1st string, my middle finger's on the 8th fret 2nd string, and as I pluck it with these two fingers, I'm pushing it slightly sharp. I'm giving a little bit of a push. And the middle finger goes more than the index finger. And it's almost like you're just pushing it out of tune, but adding that little bit of push gives it that nice bluesy twang. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little bit of a shuffle. Dot, 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 dot. That's the timing. So it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got a. So after that, I play strings, the open strings 1 and 2. Just pluck them once. Then come down and I use my thumb and I hit the 5th string here. Now what I'm doing with the left hand is I'm making a B7 chord shape here. Middle finger is on the 5th string, 2nd fret. Ring finger is on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And then your index finger comes down on the 4th string, 1st fret. And you can play strings 5, 4, 3, and 2. You can actually add your pinky on the 2nd fret, 1st string to complete the chord that way if you want. But that's a B7 chord. So we have. Okay, so there's your intro. You've just set it up. And you already kind of know by your ear where this is going. So once I make that B7 chord shape, I'm going to hit the thumb on the 5th string. And then I use these two fingers. This is where I'm breaking a little bit of that protocol. But I've got my index finger and my middle finger. I'm sorry, those two fingers. I had to think about it. On strings 3 and 4 there. And you're just grabbing those notes out of that chord. So then we come to the A part. Now I want you to pay attention to what my thumb does. It plays right on each beat. So it plays 1, 2, 3, 4. Just listen to the thumb. Let me do it again. See, that's what it's doing. Just right on the beat. Just where you would tap your foot. So that makes that easier, just because it's not alternating or doing anything weird. It's just playing on the beat, and it becomes easy to kind of syncopate that with your right hand. So try that first. It's just the open 5th string, or the A string. Now, what we're going to add to that is we're going to use our ring finger and our middle finger on strings 1 and 2. And I've got my left hand, I've got the fretting starts here on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. And I slide up to the 5th fret on the 2nd string. So it goes like this. And then you're hitting your bass note with it. So you're going. So it's triplets. A triplet is 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Triplet, triplet. So we're going to go ba, ba, ba. Now we're going to slide back down to the 3rd fret, 2nd string. So you got your thumb, thumb. We're going to do it again. Now we're out of the triplets, so notice my index finger moved down one more fret. Now I'm down on the 2nd fret, 2nd string. Now I'm going to take my hand off the fretboard and hit the open strings 1 and 2. Let's just try that again. Okay, and then for this, I put my middle finger down on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. And I played that with my index finger, that 3rd string, and then my thumb comes down and hits that open A again. And then that was, so that's strings 1 and 5, or 3 and 5. Then we got string 2 with our middle finger. And then string 1 with our ring finger. So, okay, let's put those pieces together now. We have. Alright, so let's back up from the intro, and here's how you'd count it in. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, now we're going to the E part. You can tell that's what's coming next. And for the E, I just make an E chord here in first position. I'm going to assume you know how to do that. And what I do with my thumb is my thumb now moves down to the E string, or the open 6th string. And then my index finger hits string 3, but I make the E chord in my mind, although I don't complete it. So I take my index finger off so that I can hit that open 3rd string and then hammer on with my index finger here onto the 1st fret 3rd string. And then I use my ring finger to grab the open 1 string, which is an E string. So we have pretty easy to do. And that's how you build that E chord. So kind of missed it there. Okay, so now the next thing we do is we just do this little walk down that goes. Great little turnaround that you can use when you're playing. I use this one all the time. Now, here's how you fret it. So our index finger goes down on the 3rd string on the 4th fret to play that note, and then your middle finger goes down the 5th fret 5th string. And I use these 2 fingers. I use my my ring finger and my index finger to play those 2. That just seems the most comfortable for me. So you're plucking them both at the same time. And then you're adding to that, you're adding the open 6th string, or the E string. So in essence, when you start this, you're plucking 3 strings, these 2, and then this one at the same time. So it's like this. Okay, so you got that. Ring finger comes up and hits the open 1 string. Now we're going to slide this all down 1 fret here of the left hand. Keeping the bass string as the open 6th string, and then keeping the open 1 string. Both of those are E notes, and it really works well together like that by playing that E note, by emphasizing it even as this walks down. Now watch this. So I changed the rhythm just a little bit there. So I walked down 1 more with the left hand, but this time I did another triplet. I went 1, 2, 3, triplet, and I just did the 5th string. I'm sorry, I did the 6th string, the 5th string, and the 3rd string. So thumb, index, ring. So we have, and then I concluded it with that. Now you can see where I'm at. I'm actually down, I'm making the E chord, although I don't have my ring finger on there because I don't use it. So I've just got these 2 strings or fingers out of the E chord, and I hammered on just like I did a minute ago with this index finger on the 1st fret 3rd string, and then I came up here and plucked the open 1 string with my ring finger. So let's try that again. And then the turnaround, we walk right up to the B7th. That's very easy to do because it starts on the 5th string, open A, and I do all 4 of these notes with my thumb. So I go 1, 2, that's the 1st fret on the 5th string. There's the 2nd fret on the 5th string. So actually there's 3 notes, there's not 4. That's the triplet, 1, 2, 3. And then once I get this finger, make sure you use your middle finger when you're playing the 2nd fret 5th string so that you can put these other 2 fingers down to build the B7 chord. And that now sets us up to go right into that would be the 1. All of that was really the intro, or the turnaround. I guess you're kind of starting on a turnaround. So let's back up from the beginning. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Great little setup, and just take that. I mean, take parts of that, especially these. You know, if you're playing any blues in a blues jam or whatever, or even building these chords, that is really powerful stuff that you can use over and over again. You don't have to just limit it to this composition. And hopefully that'll be your takeaways. You start to take little things and incorporate it into your own playing. Okay, so now that we've set it up, I go into this. So let's get into that. Now here I want you to pay attention, before I get into that, watch the thumb. Watch what the thumb is doing. The rhythm changes a little bit here. See what it sounds like a heartbeat. Bop, 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 bop. Remember before we were just kind of doing it on the beat. Now I'm going to go back and forth in this. Some of this is just out of my own naivety, and some of this is just, you know, it just sort of works itself out better that way. You don't notice it when you probably heard me play in the intro, but I am alternating between doing the heartbeat and doing just on the beat. There's no right answer with this. If you listen to any Delta blues guys, some of them are very methodical, but a lot of them aren't, and they'll switch it up just depending on, you know, what they feel like. And so anyway, I did want to call out, we're going to hear it in two different flavors, if you will. So now we're going to be playing this heartbeat. So let's get that. So we're going to come up here, back to this would be pattern 4 again, the E minor pentatonic scale. And if you don't know what I mean when I say pattern 4, check out the Blues Lead course, which is available at activemelody.com to premium members. And here's how we're going to set this up. We've got our pointer finger on the 7th fret 1st string. We've got our middle finger on the 8th fret 2nd string. That's the same thing that we did the intro. Same two notes. This time I use my pinky. Some of you may want to use your ring finger on the 9th fret 1st string to go. So you're just adding one extra note there to that intro thing. You're adding this. And by adding that note, and by the way, I'm plucking between these two fingers. I start with my middle finger on the 1 string, take it off, play the 1 string again with the middle finger, then pluck with your index finger on the 2nd string. Okay, so after that, then I got this. And what I'm doing for that is I got my ring finger on the 1st string, open E, and my thumb is on the 6th string, open E. Don't even need to fret that, because they're both E's. And what that allows you to do, and this is why you hear a lot of blues and played in either E or A, is you got these open strings. Now I can take my hand off the fretboard and get down in position to complete that. So after these two, I'm going to come down and I'm going to slide into this position. And what I'm doing for this is I've got my pointer finger on the 3rd fret 2nd string, and my middle finger is on the 4th fret 3rd string. And I'm using all 3 fingers to play strings 1, 2, and 3. So these, plucking all 3 of them. So string 1 is obviously an open E. So we have, and notice the thumb went down with them. So you got 4 fingers now on your right hand plucking strings all at the same time. Okay, so notice the heartbeat thing has already started. As soon as I play the first bass note, right here, that starts it. So there's one there. There's another open one, just by itself without any chording. And then I'm going to I use my ring finger and my middle finger for this. However you want to do it, that's best. But I've got my ring finger on the 2nd fret 2nd string, my middle finger is on the 2nd fret 3rd string, and I'm playing using these 3 fingers to play strings 1, 2, and 3. So you got that open E always ringing out, utilizing that as much as I can. And then I build the E chord. And when I say build it, I'm hammering it on. And that becomes the rhythm. So let me do that rhythm slowly. See what I mean by that heartbeat? Now notice when I did I stopped it there for just a second, and that's just out of my own, I guess, lack of skill, if you will, where I didn't keep it going. I just natively felt okay to let that go for a minute, just to almost catch my breath and go back into it instead of keeping a steady rhythm. If Chet Atkins were playing it, he would have never broke rhythm, but I'm not Chet. So anyway, we find our own little compromises with these things, and everyone's a little different. And some of you may not want to do the heartbeat. You may just want to play it straight. And if you did, you could go. You could do it just like that, just where you would tap your foot. And there would be nothing wrong with that. But anyway, I'm giving it more of a shuffle by doing the little heartbeat thing. Okay, so after we get down to, I repeated this, I came up and went. Now that's the same lick, I'm just repeating it, and it's the triplet, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the way that I'm plucking it is ring, ring, middle, ring, ring, middle. So that's what's going on there. Now the trick will be keeping your bass string or your bass going at the same time, going. But if you notice these, they're syncopated. If you look at it, starts with these two at the same time, strings 1 and 6, and then when I play strings 2 and 6, they're syncopated again. Then we go back and we just repeat it. And once you kind of just practice doing that little roll over and over again, you realize it's really not that difficult. And that's another great lick. Whether you're playing with a rock band on electric guitar using a pick, you can use that lick, or you're just writing your own stuff like this or whatever. Okay, so after I did 3 of them, to get out of it, strings 1 and 6 again, and then we're back down. All the way back down to the E. Okay, now to get to the A part, I did this Robert Johnson thing. And what I'm doing for that, I still got my thumb on the open 6 string, so that makes that easy. And I'm just sliding up. We've already done this. In fact, that's how we started the lick. So I'm just coming back into this again, but I'm going. So I'm going triplet 1 and 2. Now with that, you have the bass string. Now you can either do it that way, or you can just do it on the beat. And honestly, I would do that different probably every time I did this. I think I had to really concentrate when I was making the tab for this. You know, and the tab is a great way to learn this too, by the way. It's all tabbed out exactly the way I played in the intro, but I had to really think about it because I think I did it little different every time. You could even match the notes like that with your thumb. Okay, let me back all the way up now to the intro, and then we'll play it up to that point. Now we're up to the A. Okay, so see what happened there? I just slid that up 1 fret. Didn't do anything with the bass for that. I just grabbed strings 1, 2, and 3 with these fingers. And then I slid it up like that. So after I plucked that, I let it slide up. So I didn't pluck it again. But once this slides into position, I match it with the open 5th string, which is the A. So it sounds like that. Okay, now for the A part. Now look at what the bass is doing for the A part. I'm not doing the heartbeat for this. I'm just going 1, 2, 3, and part of that is because I thought it was a little too difficult to try and play that shuffle rhythm with this lead thing that's going on. So just to simplify it. So here's what you want to do. Keep your index finger on the 5th fret 2nd string and your middle finger on the 6th fret 3rd string. Just kind of keep them there, and we're going to work around that by adding in some extra notes around a lead. So we're going to, now our thumb is on the 5th string, open 5th string. Okay, we're going to take our pinky and come up here to the 8th fret 2nd string. So what I did was, keeping these guys down, I put it up here on the 8th fret, pushed it a little sharp, and did a triplet. 1, 2, 3, 1, middle, index. And then I played the strings 2 and 3 together. Did 2 of those. So we have, that's the first part. And notice again the bass. Just dot, dot, dot. And then after that, let's get that. So now we're going to go to the 5th fret. I'm going to break this little shape for a minute. And I'm going to play the 5th fret 2nd string. Come up here to the 8th fret 2nd string. And then there's the 5th fret 1st string. And then back down to the 8th fret 2nd string. So if you're wondering where the heck I am, I'm just playing the A minor pentatonic scale, pattern 1. It's right here. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just playing notes out of it. I guess adding this note would make it major, so that wouldn't be in the minor pentatonic scale, but that would be in the major pentatonic scale, pattern 2. That's where those two overlap. Okay. So we're back to the 5th fret 2nd string. And now we're back to this familiar shape here. So I'm on the 3rd string, 6th fret. And then we're concluding that lick on the 5th fret 2nd string. So let's back up. Okay? Now watch this. So let's just get that. So that I'm playing the 7th fret 1st string in conjunction with the open 5th string. And then now I'm jumping out of pattern 1 and I'm coming down to a different place, but I come down and hit the 3rd fret 1st string and push that one a little bit sharp. So after the 3rd fret 1st string, I play. So there's another triplet. So I start by playing strings 5 and 1 opened. That part's easy, right? Then there's the open B string, or the open 2 string, played with my middle finger. And then I come down to the 2nd fret 2nd string. So, alright, from the A. Now we're going back to the E. And to every time I'm going to the E, I'm just kind of building it. And all I'm doing is hitting 2 strings there. That's strings 3 and 6, played with my index and thumb. And I just build the chord by hammering it on there on the 1st fret 3rd string. Now, instead of just playing, you know, some little shuffle down here where you might normally think to play your rhythm, I came back up here and went. Played that same thing over and over again. Every time I play the E part, I go back and repeat that. You can hear the heartbeat rhythm is reintroduced. Okay, and now to get out of it, just to sort of, I did it 1, 2, 3 times, and to wrap up that E part, I went. And that's just reiterating exactly the way we played it the first time through. Same fretting. So remember how we those notes? I just changed the timing of it. Went and slid into that one twice. There's this one with these two fingers that are both on the second fret, strings 2 and 3. And then I built the E chord again, hammering onto that third fret. And then concluded with a open 1 string. Okay, now we're walking up to the B7. Alright, so to get to the B7, I got there this way. So it's a triplet 1. Think of it that way. So it starts with the open 5th string, so that's our last E note. Now we're going to go to the A string, play the open 5th string, also with the thumb. There's the 1st fret, 5th string. And now you're going to go up to the 2nd fret on the 5th string, but make sure you're doing it with your middle finger so that you can build that B7 chord around it. Okay? And it sounds like that, the little walk up. So now from here I played, and I'm just, notice here the bass is just happening right here on the 5th string. So I keep the B7 chord shape, and then I got my pinky here on the 3rd fret 2nd string, and I'm playing strings 5 and 2 at the same time. So I'm pushing that one slightly sharp as I play it. So that was ring, ring. Now we got middle finger on the 3rd string behind this B7 chord shape. And that last time I kind of played the whole chord, or at least use these 3 fingers and hit string 2, 3, and 4. So it goes. That's how it sounded if I repeated it over. And each of these parts, I recommend doing that. Just repeat that B7 until you got. You can actually end up writing your own songs a lot of times just by doing that, repeating it over and over again. It's a great way to practice, and it keeps you on time, on tempo. And notice what I'm doing. I'm repeating that little riff. It just kind of popped out as soon as I did it the first time. I wanted to repeat it. So I'm repeating it there. Now we're going to go to the A part. Now watch. You can hear it again. It happens again, and I'm repeating it in a different place. So this time I'm thinking A7 chord like that. I hope you know how to make that in first position. Just bar the first 4 strings on the 2nd fret, and then use your play on the 3rd fret 1st string. That's your A7 chord. So that's how I'm thinking of it. And what I'm doing is I'm pushing that one slightly sharp there, 3rd fret 1st string. Slow it down. You can see that index finger goes down and grabs the 2nd fret 2nd string, and with the right hand it's just ring, ring, middle, ring, ring, middle. And with the thumb happens right on the beat. And just practice that over and over again. Just set a metronome, whatever you got to do. So I did 3 of them. 1, 2. Now on the 3rd one, watch. Slight change there. To get out of it, I played 1 and 2, the E string and the B string. And did this little slide there that goes from the 3rd fret 3rd string, and notice I'm playing the bass note with it. And as soon as I hit that 3rd fret 3rd string, I slide it down to the 2nd fret. And actually I do a pull off and a hammer on. So notice I'm just plucking it once. There we go. And then I go back to the E. And I do that same little walk down. And then I do that little walk up again. That's the open 5th string, 1st fret on the 5th string, and 2nd fret on the 5th string. And make that B7 chord. And now I'm ready for part 2, and part 2 will be in the second video, and we'll go through some of the other licks. It's a whole new set of licks in part 2. I had to split this into 2 parts. Okay, so that's a lot of information and a lot of licks thrown at you, but since a lot of it's repetitive, that makes it easier. So if you kind of just focus on one part at a time with a metronome, you'll be able to put all the pieces together. Alright, let's back up all the way from the beginning. We'll play through the whole thing one time. I'll do it slowly so you have this as a final reference, and then I'll see you in the part 2 video for the second half.